Daniel. I work at Roy Anthony Nairn. I'm a first year apprentice. Today what I had to do was a solid cut, which I did on Monica, and then I did grey coverage with the semi on the ends with Simone here. First off, with my haircut, after consultating with Monica, found out that she hadn't had a haircut for about a year. So we wanted to tidy it up and give it a nice, straight, solid cut. Just also to make the hair look a bit thicker than what it is, because she does have quite fine hair. So with the haircut, she has a part on the right side going to the left. So I did my part line, and then I also took it down the back, my section down the back in the middle, and then just behind the ears as well. And then to start off, I took a section around the back. The section that I took around the back, I'd take first off I took a centimetre just to get my baseline to then follow from. When I did first take my section, I noticed that the hair that she had underneath was actually quite shorter than what it was on the top. So letting her know that, we decided that we'd take a little bit more off than what we first discussed. So we talk about just over an inch off. And then each section that I took up just got a tiny bit bigger because of there'd be less hair. So once I had done the back, also while taking the back off each section, making sure that I had it straight by feel compared to look, because that's the best way to know. Then I take on my side sections. I do exactly the same thing, but each section I do working my way up just to make sure that they're both even. Once I'd finished taking my sections, once I'd finished cutting my sections, I then blow dried it straight, just to make it a bit easier, just to go through and double check my work. I took the towel and the gown off so I could have it as flat as possible. So with each cut that I did do, my projection was at 0 degrees to try and get it as straight as possible, while having her head forward. So then when I was cutting, there would be no graduation up, it would be as solid as possible. So then once I was checking, I'd go through, I'd also have a head forward. I'd go along. So I'd come down, making sure, having pressure on it, but I didn't want to have too much tension, so I'm not pulling the hair, and just going along and doing a freehand cut to try and get it as straight as possible without any graduation. And then I went along the whole way through while doing that, making sure that I was keeping the length at the same. I think that's about it with Monica. And then with my model Simone, I had previously done her hair before. She came in today and she had a tiny bit of regrowth with her greys. She is over 50% grey. So with consultating with her, we found out that she had previous colour build-up on her hair, and it had been what she had done at home, and of course each time it kind of got darker till it was a 2N, which is your black. So instead of using a 2N on her roots, she wants to go a little bit lighter. She wants to get some warmth in her hair coming into spring and summer. So I used a 3N on her roots. It's still dark, but each time that we do a regrowth, it means that we're not keeping it the same colour, and we can try and get a bit warmer. So I did my cross section first, which is through the middle and along the sides, and then with grey I started from the front and worked my way back to make sure that I covered all the greys along the front, which is what you see first. Once I covered the regrowth, I then went through and I balayaged the ends. I used the BLN9 because her ends were lighter than her regrowth, because she was only taking it to her colour to a certain point. But wanting to get some warmth through it, so we decided that we balayage using a 9. The reason why I used 9% was I didn't want it to lift too much. I wanted it to be just more subtle than really blonde. Once I'd left that on I'd put that under heat for 20 minutes. By that time, checking it, of course, each time. By that time, the ends had lifted to the level that I was happy with. I then took it downstairs, and what we had used on the ends was a 5B colour gloss on the ends, just to give that little bit warmth, but still make it subtle enough so it wasn't